Hey now, y'all. This is my first live event. I think. I can't be sure. I could be wrong. But it's been a while. How y'all doing? So I'm going to get started on this because, believe it or not, I have a conference call at 7:30. And I did want to spend um hi. How y'all doing? Oh, I love you too. You're awesome. I'm going to try to move my light so I can see some of your comments. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Prayerfully it's going to work, but I'm just going to chat really quick. I know that I have not done a live video in quite a long time and or a chat video. I haven't done a chat. Hi, Janie. Janine, how are you? I don't have my glasses on, so y'all forgive me if I don't say something right or see you right. Um, but it's been quite a long time since I've done a let's chat. Hey girl, how you doing? It's been a long time, and the reason is my schedule. It's so tight. I went to the nutritionist the other day, and we were talking about um, what are some things that are hindrances to my weight loss. I've lost about 20 pounds since January, and I was trying to wreck my brain about what the changes were. And I said, you know what? It's been going back to work. Normally, I to do all my, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hey, girl, how are you? Good to see you guys. Um, Normally, I was able to get up during the summer. Thank you so much. I'm working hard. Hey, from Texas. Hey. I was able to get up during the summer, had my list, knock it out, and then be able to do, taekwondo in the afternoon. Now I have to work for 8 hours, come home. I have taekwondo, and then if I can get my list done, I can get my list done. So with going back to work, it has really shifted my schedule, and I'm doing my very best to try to juggle it all and still put out good content and still be a good mom and still be a good Bible teacher on Thursday nights, because we're still doing the ladies meetings on Thursday nights and we're having some great times. If you have not joined us for the Bible discussions, you are welcome anytime. I will the the number is always linked in my in any video that I do. So anyway, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Shakema, and I am the proud mom of two girls. Oh, thank you. I love to cook. Cooking is my thing. It is my absolute favorite thing to do in life, besides serve Jesus, because I love to do that more. But I do love to cook. I have two girls. I have two boys. I have a 27-year-old, a 21-year-old, a 13-year-old, an 8-year-old, and I have a dog. Oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Um, Anywho, we're gonna keep right on keeping on. So I wanted to give you just a few life updates and tell you some things. I made a list so that I wouldn't forget anything, right? And I wrote it all down. So let's talk about Weight Watchers real quick. I am still doing Weight Watchers. I have lost now 20 pounds since January, actually, since the last week of my lighting is not acting right. Hold on one second. I'm going to try again. See if that likes me better. No, that doesn't like me any better. Maybe that's good. Since January, when I first started Weight Watchers, I've now lost about 20 pounds. And I feel great. I'm still working out. My gym schedule has changed a little bit. So I'm still counting smart points. And let me just tell you, because um, whoever posted the question about the husband, can you post it again? It went by so fast that I couldn't see. I'm going to this one day because I'm determined that Norris is waiting for me. I know he's married right now, but he is waiting for me. I love that man. And he was Walker, Texas Rangers, my favorite. That's a whole other story. But I love Texas. There's something in my heart. I'm a true Southerner. Really, I am. If you're only 8 years old, you need to really maybe have your parent with you while you watch YouTube. Just a suggestion. Um, Back to Weight Watchers. 20 pounds, and my points reset on Sunday. Hey, girl. Hey, how are you? My points reset on Sunday. So, of course, I get 30 points per day, and then I get 42 additional. For a husband that won't stick to a budget, um, I would say maybe an allowance. And I don't know how you, maybe not an allowance. Hey, darling, how are you? So good to see you. I don't know how you put a grown person on an allowance, but maybe you can budget for your amount. I don't believe I'm a firm believer in one pot, but maybe you have access to a specific amount for bills and your personal spending and different things like that. We can't control people, so you can't force somebody to be on your plan. You have to have a shared goal in mind for what you're planning to be on a budget for. So, hun, hey, we want to go on vacation. The only way to get on vacation, hey, darling, how are you? The only way to get on it, yes, ma'am, every time. The only way to do that is if we stick to this plan. But again, they've got to be on board. It's kind of like the fly lady where she tells you clean up your space and don't mess with your spouse's things, because you can't make people, you can't force people. It has to be their desire. So what I would tell you is, if you get a specific amount of money to do bills, hey darling, how are you? If you get a specific amount of money, then what you want to do is budget for your stuff. Not saying that it's not a shared pot, because I believe, yeah, I think if you can, you know, if they will agree and you can give them an allowance or an envelope for themselves, um, but you can't force. Again, you can't force. Hey, darling, how are you? Oh, yay! Thursday nights. Let me just hit Thursday nights real quick. But again, just to for can do a good steward over what you have and what comes under your hands. I would definitely say, if he had an envelope, and some people, like, I get paid once a month, and it is very difficult, because when you get that $100 or whatever it is, and all you get it is once a month, it goes quickly. So it's like my grocery money. I do groceries per week. I break down my total amount into weeks, and then I don't always feel like I'm being deprived. Like, if I want to spend money on the first, then I know I'm going to get money again on the 8th, because it's that next week. Um, I just think that's how you have to do it, or at least start that way. I would definitely say start with a conversation about goals and shared vision for your family. And if you can get on a equal playing field, then it's only up from here. Thursday night Bible studies are amazing. If you have not joined us, please feel free to stop in anytime. One thing I want people to always know is there's no pressure. Hey, darling from Indiana. Hey, girl, how are you? You don't have to come every week. You don't have to share. You don't have to tell us your name. When you call in, it says, please announce yourself. There is no expectation of you. That group is an expectation of me. It's whether I've studied this week for the study, it's whether I've been before the Lord, it's what I say and present to the ladies. But what we have found, those of us that have joined the call line, is that there's a safe community for people to come and express themselves. Hey, from Alabama, yay, roll tide, roll tide. Arkansas, hey, y'all. I love all y'all Southern people, because I'm Southern in my spirit. um, will what be live streamed, Kelly, the ladies' Bible study? I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure yet how I can do it. And then the other thing with doing it live stream with all the ladies involved is, I would like to protect, because sometimes we do share out, and I don't want to share that in a broad. environment. Does that make sense? So in order to protect the ladies, that's why we meet on the call line. Hey, from St. Louis. Oh, that's you, girl. Yes, girl. I drove through there one time and I was like, oh, look, there's that arch. It was awesome. Kansas. My daughter is going to be going to Kansas in January. She's going to be student teaching there. We are excited for her. So I want to protect the ladies. And from LA, well, hey now, that's awesome. So that's why we do it on. I'm thinking my schedule, and I don't want to say I promise because it is it's hard to. I don't make the cash envelopes. No, I bought the ones that I have from Mom Needs a Clone off of her Etsy shop, but her shop has been down for a while. You can go over there and see if it's up again, but her shop has been down. She had been ill for a while. I messaged with her and she had been ill and she wasn't sure when it was opening again, but I bought mine. One of my subscribers blessed me with those envelopes. Let me say my subscriber blessed me with those. Um, but anyway, for the ladies, so there's no requirement. You don't have to come every week. You don't have to come on time. I have one lady, and sometimes she has to drive her husband to work, and so she'll just let me know, hey, I'm coming in late. And then I record the sessions and then I can share those out individually if you were on the call because I don't want to share people's personal information and we don't share names. There are a couple of us ladies that have become so close from the group that we are involved in a chat, and so we chat together with each other throughout the week. But we leave the call line open for anybody, and we discuss lots of things. Last week we talked about 1 Corinthians 13, and then we went over into John chapter 1, verse 17. So, it runs the gamut. We're going to be starting the book of Romans this Thursday, and we will go into until Thanksgiving. We'll have Thanksgiving week off, and then we'll go the first couple weeks in December. We'll have Christmas week and probably 2 weeks off at Christmas, and then we'll start again in January. We are looking to do a ladies retreat in February for those of us that want to do that. It will be expenses on your own, but it won't prayerfully will not be anything too expensive unless you have to travel. So, and we're from all over. So I'm going to try to find as general location as I can. Sorry, y'all. Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Thursday nights is really awesome. I'm going to try to catch your comments as they're coming through, but so let me get back to Croctober. I am enjoying the crock pot series. We did not do a crock pot meal tonight, and the reason is we had a few leftovers from the week. So we are going to just consume everything tonight, and we'll start over. Sunday is just eat all the leftover nights. So far, so good. We haven't had anything that we didn't just love or that the kids didn't love. They all um, thought it was really, really good. So I know that's right. I have 2 crock pots and I need about 3 or 4 or 5 more because I love a crock pot. I'm getting ready to do a wedding. I have been asked to do the food and the setup for a wedding. And just thinking about all the things that I need to do. I'm cooking for about 75 people. And I'm thinking I have got, you know what? I don't like oatmeal. Oatmeal is not my fave. Oh no. Pinterest is really where I find a lot of good recipe. Well, I am just I'm a creative cook. I'm not creative in any other area at all. I am a creative cook. But that's where my creativity sometimes stops. So I would say check Pinterest. A lot of it is cooking time or a lot of it is the amount of liquid that's in your crock pot. So I would do small things and work my way up. I did see a recipe from Queen's Cabinet for, I think it was baked oatmeal, and I did seriously think about doing that one. Um, so I'm not real sure. My sister loves steel cut oats, but I cannot. It's like okra. When I see that, can't do it. Can't do it. A lot of people ask me about, hey, from Ohio. Yes, the rich experience, right? I mean, for real. I don't even know where that came from. Oh no, not the crock pot. Oh, you know what? My first my last crock pot that I had, I used it to death. And my sister got me one from Walmart, and I have used that faithfully for years. $17, and it has been amazing. So I recommend it. If you have that little extra in your budget, and even the little ones, if it's just you're trying to do a little something, just the little ones will work as well. So a lot of people ask me about homeschool, and they can't kind of wrap their minds around how I work full time plus homeschool plus everything else that I have to do. And so what I like to tell people is I believe that the Lord led me to homeschool, and that is my testimony. And because God led me in that direction, I had to figure out as a parent how I was going to. Wasn't that just amazing? I mean, I found all those little pieces and I was like, I've got to try this. I love it. Oh, I have this way of like people will get these little sayings from me. Just my bro, I don't know, but anyway. So, yes, crock pots are from the Lord. I believe he ordained them. Yes, he did. I do. So, how do you homeschool full time and work full time and raise your kids as a single mom? You just do what you have to do. A couple years ago, I would say about 4 years ago, one of my really close friends, well, we weren't real close at the time. Children's, she was a children's director at our church. I don't want to say children's pastor because that's not what she was. She was just the director at our church. She had gotten married, had a baby, and her husband and she decided that she needed to stay at home with their children. She had two kids at the time. And so, knowing that I wanted my children to homeschool, because Jackson is now in fourth grade, so it's been about 3 years ago, I asked her if she would consider sitting for my kids during the daytime while I worked. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to do my very first one is going to be a very intimate, just a general ladies meeting. And that's going to be in February. And I do plan to do I plan to do Weight Watcher weekends where I would do meals on Saturdays and Sundays because really that's the only time that I have. I didn't have time this weekend. I'm out of town not this weekend coming, but I'm out of town the 21st to 28th, and I have that wedding on the 4th of November. So I'm planning to do Weight Watcher weekends. So be looking for that. So I asked her if she would sit with my kids during the day. I drop them off with her, and then I pick them up in the evenings. During the daytime, they have assignments. Their homeschool is on computer. We use Switched On Schoolhouse because it grades for me. You're welcome anytime. It grades for me. I set up the parameters just like I would do for my regular students, and then the computer does all of that for me. Now I can go in and readjust assignments. I can reset assignments, but I do all of that in the evenings. Now my kids take their PE class, which is Taekwondo, Tuesday through Friday. And Monday is homeschool makeup day. So from the previous week, if we have any assignments, projects, or anything like that, we set aside Sunday evenings and Monday night for all homeschool makeup and then mom instruction. So if Jackson's learning a new concept in math, then I will do math with him on Sunday and Monday. And then he will be set for the week to work on his assignments for that next week. With Alana, it's the same. It's a little difficult having two kids in two different grades. Doing a challenge. She's a challenge. She needs a little extra time. Jackson kind of breezes through his stuff. He didn't even go to kindergarten. He started in first grade and he is now in fourth grade. Alana's in eighth grade, but she just takes a little bit more time. And so I've given her the state of North Carolina says we have to homeschool just like a regular school schedule 180 days. And we have to test our students and keep our tests on file, which I do. But for Alana, I give her 210 days. Oh, nice. During Croctober, it's harder to get them in the videos just because I'm focused on the countertop. But I've got a couple. I just posted a video with Alana and Jackson and Grace in it. I just posted it on my channel a few minutes ago, of doing redoing Alana's room. So I'm going to try to get the kids in there more, probably around the holidays. You're going to see a lot more of the kids, and even my older kids, because they come home for the holidays. Not so much Thanksgiving, because usually Thanksgiving is their father's holiday and they spend time with his family. But Christmas is my holiday. So the kids are usually here. We're all together. I plan a couple family vlogs. Friday this week was supposed to be date night with my son, my oldest son, but he ended up having to work yesterday, so he didn't come home. So we're planning again for soon, but I have a men's conference that we're singing at this Friday. So not going to be able to get out with him for a little while. Oh, thank you. They are a joy. It's difficult sometimes being a single mom because of the weight of what I have to do. But I tell you, I wouldn't trade my life for anything. We're happy now. We weren't always, so I can't say that we were always happy. But God has blessed us tremendously. He has made a way out of no way. When I was so down and depressed about my life, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to feed my kids, and I didn't know how the bills were going to get paid, and I was, just, why did this happen to me? And God really came in and he just sustained me through it all. And what he did was gave me joy through my children. Jackson has always been my joy child. He was conceived in the middle of a separation. We were together, then we weren't together, then we were back together, and we were trying to work it out, and it just didn't work out. And um, thank you. Amen. Yes, ma'am. He is the only one who can do it. And so I was trying to save my marriage, and then we found out that I was pregnant, and it didn't work out. But Jackson has never of not being happy. He's a happy child. He came out smiling. And the one thing that I was very thankful for that God did for him, Jackson's the only one. I'm a high school teacher. I teach high school full time, and I have taught for the last 20 years. So I did high school. This is now my 13th year, and I did 7 years in the middle school. So from 6 to 12, I'm certified to teach. Um, yeah. So Jackson is the only child. It's a challenge sometimes, but I love it. I love my job. Okay. I'll tie that into what I'm saying now about Jackson. So Jackson is the only child that never lived with his dad. Well, he lived with us for the first 4 months that Jackson was born, and then he left our family. But Jackson has never treated his dad any different. He's never acted like he didn't know his dad. And I believe that that was really the grace of God for his father and for Jackson, that they have a relationship, even though he wasn't in the house. The other children did have the benefit of having their dad in the house, but my kids are my joy. They are my heart. They're my life's work. It's what God has given me to do. So, someone asked about tithing and offering. Absolutely, but I'm God had to change my heart because I wasn't always nice or happy. It was just tough. You know how it is. It's tough. You plan your life. You marry somebody. You think it's gonna last, and then something changes, and it's not what you thought it was gonna be, and it just wasn't. And so I'm thankful that God has finally helped me. He's helping me to not feel some type of way or hold grudges, because I just don't want to live my life like that. But I don't know. I've always been a tither. I don't ever find myself without the Lord. When I was 13 years old, I met the Lord for the first time that I remember. I can tell you that God was with me previous to that. I just was not mindful of God. but a lady friend, a parent of one of my friends, we were not on the same page financially. Um, and and he took care of the finances. He was told that the man is the head, and so that meant head of the finances as well. And he was not the best. I can't say that I was any better, but I might could have managed. I apologize, y'all. I think I'm having a little bit of internet trouble. So if I fade in and out, I do apologize. And I'm going to wrap this up really quickly because I have a conference call in 9 minutes. Praise the Lord. Um, we were not on the same page. But whenever he left, and I realized that I was there with these kids and I had to do something, because again, I just had a baby, 4 months old, and I couldn't figure out how to feed my kids and pay all my bills because we were a two-income household. Even though we weren't necessarily current on all of our bills, we still had two incomes. And so I took the class, Financial Peace University, with Dave Ramsey, and I put myself on a very strict budget. It was like, Shakema, you've got to get your life together because you're drowning. And I was drowning in not debt specific. Yes, ma'am, I do plan on paying off my student loan. With every bit of extra money that comes in, I'm either putting it to the student loan or in savings for the children's extra stuff. So right now, because we had $350 extra that we needed for this month, everything that comes in now is going to that. But after that is paid, any extra jobs, I just picked up a Saturday shift at work, and so that, and I usually make about $63 extra. I'm going to put that towards my student loan, just a chunk. And then if there's any tax money, because we are current on all of our bills and I only have my student loan as debt, then I plan to take a chunk of that and put in savings. But I also plan to take a chunk and pay off my student, pay towards my student loan, because that is the only debt that I have at the moment. So when I took FPU, I didn't even have the $100 to sign up for the class. And supernaturally, the Lord dropped that money into my lap. I signed up for the class. A friend of mine made the spreadsheet that you all see me use every month. And they said, hey, Shakema, um, you can use the spreadsheet. I've used that spreadsheet faithfully for the last 6 years. I believe I've is how long I've used that spreadsheet. And I sit down and I look at the numbers and I just make it work the best I can. I do believe, for the person who was asking me about tithing, tithing for me is not an option. It's just what I believe. It's my personal conviction. So right off the top, I'm going to pay my tithe. I'm going to return to the Lord what God was so graciously give 100% if the Lord is blessing me. That's what I believe. And I have a testimony that says only God can. When I was just separated and I lived in an apartment with 3 kids shoved in one small bedroom, and I took the small bedroom, they were in the master because my daughter was not at home at the time. She'd already left, my oldest. Um, and I couldn't see how I was gonna have 300 extra dollars for that extra bedroom. And God just stepped in and He made a way. And I cleaned toilets. Oh no, you know, I am very, very loyal to my church. That's what I'm saying. I have some preaching videos just sharing some of my testimony. If you go to my channel and look under the playlist called Bible Time, they're not only specifically on tithe and offering, but I will tell you that because I am faithful to the Lord, God is faithful to me. But He doesn't always necessarily give me finances back. He gives me peace of mind. But more times than not, He does bless me in the area of finances. I mean, who could give me an extra Saturday gig to get a couple hours? That's how He provides for me. But more than that, He also provides a mind. And if you have a mind, then you can figure out how to work your bills. Like Shakema, stop spending. If I know that spending is my issue, then I've got to stop spending, because what I have is what I have. And God is looking for me to be a good steward over that. And when I'm a good steward over that little bit, then he can make me Lord and ruler over more than that. He's like, you know what? She's been faithful. I can trust her with more than what she has. And so I'll give her a little bit more. It's God expanding your territory. So what you have to remember is that he may not always give you more money, but he's going to give you strategies. When I was struggling to feed my kids, God said coupons. And my ex had told me for years, coupons are dumb, they don't work, and you're not going to be able to do it. Well, I'm telling you, I have fed my kids over the last 6 years from coupons. That's how they have eaten, coupons, because God said it and he gave me a brain, and I can be in a grocery store and I'll know what's the percentage off of this, how much is it going to be. I've went into the grocery store with other people and I've given them my coupons so they can feed their families, and I still was able to feed my kids. I've been gone into, and this is not about what Shakema can do, but I'll tell you, I've been into the grocery store when before I didn't even have enough money to feed my kids, and I was able to buy my groceries. That didn't happen before, but it was God giving me a mind to trust him in all things, believe him for all what he gave me. Gave me a mind that would understand how this system works. I don't go outside the system. I don't have 300 bottles of anything in my house. I have some extra things and some things I don't have. But as each event happens, God even blessed me. How good is God that he would have people from Tennessee and Texas and Indiana and North Carolina, all the places that people are, and they send me coupons in the mail. I didn't have to buy ink, so that was a savings on my budget. I didn't have to print anything out. I'm not using my computer. I'm not using anything that's going to cost me money to replace, because God laid it on the heart of somebody to sow into me. Yes, ma'am. He always provides. And again, it may not be what you think. I mean, I've been posting an outfit of the day in Facebook groups. Every outfit I've posted over the last week has been from the thrift store. I very rarely will spend money on name brand clothes, but I can go to this one store that's a thrift store, and certain days they'll have what's called a flash sale, and they have name brand. I mean name brand, but their clearance is $1. And when I know it's $1, I head on over there and I dress my girls. I always get for my girls. But what God told me to do last time, he said, take a friend. So I called up a friend. I was like, hey, I'm going to this place. You want to go? And she got some great deals for her and her son and her husband. Just, whatever God puts on the inside of you is not just for you, it's for other people. It's to share that his mighty works and acts will be known. We've got to do, that's how I live. Yes, ma'am. Ill or not, you know, it may be tough, but God has a plan for everybody. I don't care what it is. There's nothing too small, there's nothing too big. If all you can do is type on your computer, I don't know what your illness is, but I just declare over you that you're going to live and not die. That's God's word. That's not Shakema word. I'm not no, great somebody. And Shakema said, no, the word of God said you shall live and not die. But if all you have, oh, you're right. Lord, I got so much to do. I just want to say this. If all you have is your computer, become a blogger. Blog. If all you have is the phone line, do the phone line. That's all I had for 3.5 years. And I prayed. And 3.5 years later, God is really, opening up that. It's whatever, use what you have. And God's going to honor and bless you. I do have to go. I got through some of my, but I have I got reunion, and I do hate to leave you guys, but I'm gonna try to Sunday night sit down via live stream just because the editing is what takes me the longest time. So I'm gonna try it again next week. If you like this, be sure to give us a thumbs up. And I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.